You fly to a remote wilderness, you carried supplies that could last you for months, and you expect to be picked up later. Now, when the time comes for you to be picked up, nobody shows up. This is exactly what happened to a guy called McCunn in 1981. Carl is a photographer who loved nature. He loved taking pictures of animals, of rivers, of mountains. He wanted to live in the wild, far away from the city, just to see how beautiful the world really is. But Carl made just one mistake, and that mistake cost him his life, and he never came back home. This story is a little sad, but it also teaches us something very important, that when you go on adventure or when you plan to do something, make sure you plan carefully. Carl was born in 1947 in Germany, but he grew up in Texas in the United States. As he got older, he joined the Navy, and after some years, he moved far away to Alaska. Now, we all know that Alaska is not like any other place. It is a place that is very cold with big mountains and long winters. But that was not a problem for Carl, because he loved places like that. He loved being outside. He loved taking pictures with his camera. He wanted to spend some time alone in the wild, where no one else was around. That was his dream. He's that kind of guy. So one day, he decided to go and live in the wilderness, just him, his camera, and nature. So in March 1981, he got a bush pilot to fly him far deep into Alaska, about 225 miles from the nearest city. He took with him a lot of things. He took 1,400 pounds worth of food. He took 500 rolls of film for his camera. He took 2 rifles and a shotgun to hunt animals, and every other camping things he thought he needed. He believed he had a plan. He believed he had put the necessary things in place. He believed someone would come back later in the summer to pick him up. But here's the problem. He did not confirm. He thought someone would come to pick him up, but he did not check properly. At first, everything was exciting. He set up his tent near a river. He watched the animals. He took a lot of pictures. He wrote in his journal every day like a diary. He had a lot of food that he didn't need to worry. He even threw away some food that he thought he didn't need. But then in August, the summer had started ending. That was the time he expected someone to fly him back, but no one came. So Carl started getting worried. He wrote in his journal that, "I think I should have made a better plan for living. I'll soon find out." He had no choice than to start hunting for animals to eat, and after several failed attempts, he got lucky with a deer, and that gave him meat for some time. But the days were getting shorter, the air was getting colder, and his food was going down. So he kept asking himself why no one has come to pick him, despite giving them the map of his location before he left. But he didn't know that his friends at home were also worried. They even told the police, and the police sent an airplane to fly over his camp. And here's the saddest part of his story. In Alaska, there are special hand signals to show if you are in trouble. But Carl, being a photographer, does not know this. He waved a red bag, but little did he know that the red bag he waved was the wrong way. So the pilot thought he was saying, "I'm fine, there's no need to worry, don't come and get me now." So the airplane left. Can you imagine how Carl would have felt? Like, after several months in the wilderness, you finally saw a plane coming to get you. You were happy, excited, and then all of a sudden, you are looking at the plane going away. And after that incident, life got very hard for Carl, because snow came, the river froze, and the animals were getting harder to catch. He was running out of food. He even wrote in his journal that he had only 1 meal of beans left. He tried to hunt for food, but he was weak. His hands were getting cold and starting to freeze. He had no more energy left. He prayed to God, asking for help, but the days were getting colder and the food was gone. And then in December, he understood he would not survive. He was all alone. No airplane came. Nobody was near. His body was weak and his stomach was empty. So he left a note with his name attached to it and asked people to send his things to his father if they ever found his body. And then he ended his life by shooting himself. He was only 35 years old, a young man with big dreams gone just because of one simple mistake. Months later, in February 1982, police finally found his camp. They found his journal, his notes, they found his body. Carl's father was very sad, but he said one thing that is very important. He said if Carl's story can stop just one person from making the same mistake, then at least something good came out from it.